Number one, with a youth-focused prevention program called MoCo Mentors. And secondly, with adult caregiver groups. So our goal is youth prevention. We want to do that by providing safe and healthy adult contacts with children that are at risk for opioid use. We also want to come alongside the adults that are caregiving for those young people and train them in appropriate parenting, appropriate ways to communicate and empower and nurture those children. So our goal is to engage and empower adults throughout our community to support children, adolescents, and young adults through training and equipping healthy adults to serve as mentors and role models. We want to focus on mentoring and group programs. We believe that fostering this healthier living in our community could change the trajectory. Our ultimate goal is to create children and young people who are change breakers, ones that choose not to use opioids. So we have collected collaborators in this plan. Traditional Bank has already found us 27 employees that want to be mentors. They're willing to go into the schools for 30 minutes weekly and meet with adolescents at McNabb Middle School. Yeah, isn't that great? And Traditional Bank is allowing their employees to stay on the clock for all of that time, which is such a great gift. And Montgomery County Schools is working alongside us as well. We've had a collaborative agreement with them for several years, but this is the first time that we've asked them to let community members into the schools with us to do work, and they are very excited. So we're happy to be able to do this. The grant that we wrote for the state allowed for 20 mentors and mentees, and right now we already have 27. And we expect that it continue to grow. The other thing that we need to know is that the state funded our program 70%. So we are still lacking 30% of that funding. We have applied to the United Way for a portion of it and are waiting to know if we should hear from them this month, but we don't know yet if we will receive those funds. We have a verbal pledge from the fiscal court to receive $10,000, and if those two awards are granted in the amounts that we request, we will still be $1,500 short for the total program cost for the first 20. And now we have 7 more. So you can see on the very back page the requests that we have from you. If we receive the United Way of the Bluegrass Funds, our request from the City of Mount Sterling could be $64.35 to cover those additional students, those 7 that we already know about. If we went to $85.50, then we could accommodate 10 students. So those 7 plus 3 more, we would have a little more room. If we do not receive the United Way of the Bluegrass Funds, our request of the city is $14,000 for the additional funds that we would not get from United Way, as well as the ones we would need for the 7 extra students. And then the last option, if we went for 10 additional students, our request would be $16,150. We believe strongly that this is a great way for our community to come together and to help youth, to prevent our youth from engaging in this very dangerous pattern of opioid use.
Okay.
Thank you.
Well, thank you, Kathy. Has the county's given you a verbal commitment of $10,000? Have they indicated a time frame when they'd make a decision
Sherry's
on
in
that?
contact with them.
we've been told that they would be looking at that in this month of July, and
Okay.
maybe have an answer in August. They haven't given us a firm date.
Okay. And then when will you know from United Way? I'm sorry, you may
That's
have
expected this month as well.
this month, okay. Okay, we do have opioid abatement funding available that we have a desire to see used in the way that it was designated for. So we're learning with this as we go too. So we will look into your request here, and I'm sorry, did any members of council have any questions? So we can certainly look into this. I may reach out to you, probably will, to get a little bit more information, and then we'll see what we can do to assist.
Okay,
Okay?
thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Kathy. Okay, next on the agenda, we have public comment. Mr. Brian Groff. Brian, welcome.
Thank you, Mayor Boss, members of City Council. My name is Brian Groff. I'm a resident of Montgomery County, property owner in Mount Sterling, established business owner, and employer. Me and my family own the building on South Maysville, formerly known as the Old Building. We have a pigeon infestation problem today, and that's what I'm here to talk about this evening. Mayor, may I approach?
Absolutely, yes.
For distribution, I have an updated copy of presentations that I delivered by email earlier this week. And so, once everyone has the package, you can follow along.
I think we're good, Brian.
Thank you.
So the city of Mount Sterling, as many here know, has had a pigeon infestation problem for a little while. I brought up the issue in August of 2024, and I know that the city has received a proposal in September, and the city council received that proposal in December of 2024. Pigeons are a city health hazard. This is a city problem. Pigeons can carry over 60 diseases, including histoplasmosis, cryptococcosis, psittacosis, and salmonellosis. And I regret to inform this city council that we have a member on South Maysville that is fighting for his life because he has blood fungus from one of these diseases. Dry droppings can turn into dust that infiltrates HVAC systems, potentially causing infections from inhaled proteins and droppings may trigger asthma or skin rashes, and those who are immunocompromised are at greater risk. The pigeon poop is acidic, damage roof materials and paint. And for those of us who have invested to improve the facades of our building, those efforts are going to waste too soon. I won't take time to go through every slide. I know my time is limited. I'm joined here today by my family and also by pest control expert Christian Perdue, whose environmental service company provided a proposal last fall. What I want to do is turn to the page that has the map view of our downtown. And I have highlighted on that map the dates and the observations where we have pigeons. And the takeaway from this is that last fall, when we first explored the pigeon infestation problem, they were largely congregated at the Gateway Regional Arts Center and on East Main. Since the facade has fallen off of that East Main building, they have all migrated to South Maysville, where they are concentrated today. We have natural predators, but they're not enough to take out the population. I want to jump ahead to the second to the last page of the packet. And there's some green highlighting on here from the proposal that this city council was given And this outlines the cost of a four-phase approach. And to summarize the four-phase is first a feeding program to train the pigeons where to go. It's a switch of the feed to an ovocontrol product, which is pigeon birth control. Pigeons reproduce real fast. They can have fledglings leave the nest within 10 days, and the mother pigeon can lay a new set of eggs before the fledglings leave the nest. A population of 200 pigeons today will be 400 pigeons next year. And I'm satisfied we've got more than 200 pigeons infesting our downtown today. The next part is initial investment of a trapping program. This is a trapping and new system. I want to be clear, the cost of this is a physical body on site every day to trap and humanely remove these pigeons from our downtown area. So if you look at the prices in here, don't be alarmed. I think it's very reasonable. Mr. Purdue lives here in Mount Sterling. He's a resident on Main Street. He's been an expert at pigeon removal for 15 years. The last page is a summary of the costs. And I want City Council to consider the actual costs very carefully. If I look at this top table, the as-proposed cost, if we look at RK Environmental, is over $30,000. However, from the different phases that are proposed, the bird dropping cleanup is already being handled by the city and public works departments. And Nathan Boston can attest to that. And the optical gel and flex track that's recommended by the experts is a if needed, where needed approach. So the last column is an as interpreted, and if I look at that, the true cost to go in heavy and attack this problem is around $20,000 or so. Compared to the ongoing cost of sidewalk cleanup, which over the time period I have presented here is over $12,000. It's $1,400 a quarter. So I'm asking City Council to please review the proposal. Realize this is a city problem, and please help us in improving the health and safety of our citizens. I'll take any questions.
Ryan, so, I'm sorry, did somebody else have a question?
I just want to add something to that, by the way. I can get a 90% reduction within 6 to 8 months.
So my question is, after quote, removal of the pigeons, what is the longevity and the long-term plan to keep this issue mitigated?
Well, you got to think, the pigeons only last about 2.5 years for their full entire cycle. So by doing the oval control, you keep them on birth control. They can't reproduce at that point. All their eggs are duds. So by doing that, we're getting them 90% of it out, letting the rest of it not being able to reproduce. They'll die within 2 years. Now that phase, we look at something different as far as putting deterrents. When you put deterrents up, you got to look like the Bird Alert 2, which is a sound system. It only squawks when it's need be. It's non-verbal. It just sits there. You don't touch it. It's a solar panel unit. The flex track that you guys see, that upgrade you're seeing, basically what that is this bird lands on it, gives it an electrocution shock, it goes away, and never wants to come back to that area. The amount of hawks that we get too many in this town is going to be very bad.
I want to mention on the cost of the oval control, because your question is maintenance. The oval control is estimated to be consuming about 1 pound for 80 pigeons per day. To eliminate the pigeons, less oval control usage. So a 30-pound bag of oval control on the open market, no license required, no special training, it's $300 for a 30-pound bag.
And that's something that we would have to do annually or weekly, or what
It
would we
depends
talk
on the
about?
number of pigeons.
You're talking going from weekly, basically from being a daily thing, you go to a weekly thing, you go to a bi-weekly, into a monthly, and by the time we get to monthly, your 30 bag probably will stretch you 3, 4, 5 months.
Okay.
What keeps more pigeons coming from out the barns or different places?
See, well, you gotta think of pigeons are flyers. They can fly from New York all the way to Florida. I mean, so in order
So
to
it's just something that you have to just continually keep.
continue, but you're gonna drive it down the amounts is gonna go completely down to where you're gonna look at a cost and it's just gonna be a breeze. So you're looking at big time costs going down to a minimal cost.
And so if a New York pigeon comes here and lands and eats your stuff, they're not gonna be able to reproduce anyway.
No, ma'am.
So we're helping other towns
Yes,
too.
ma'am.
So we can be the start of something.
Yes, ma'am. And I plan on taking this.
I always like to be the first. Yeah, I mean, I totally understand where you're coming from, Mr. Groff. It is a problem. It's trying to figure out how to fit it into all the nooks and crannies that make it viable and the longevity of it. I think it's hard to put that much money up front. If we have to spend that every 2 years, that might be a little bit different. If it's, a bag of 300 whatever OVA stuff every 6 months, that might not be as bad as it feels. Yeah,
We have an infestation today, and it's gonna cost some money for me.
yeah.
But speaking of public works, after the initial abatement and we get control over this, I'm satisfied, talking with Mr. Boston, Public Works can take over next.
Has this worked anywhere else? Have you got other places that you've done this?
I've done bird control for the last 15 years.
I mean, other locations?
What cities have you done it in? What local governments?
I've done no local governments as far as that, but like I do food processing plants. So I do Frito-Lay, August Peanut Butter, Pepsi, and I do it at those big manufacturing plants, Tyson, Greek Chicken. I do that with those locations.
So how does that compare with the multiple buildings we have here?
I'll take Frito-Lay Fayetteville for it's almost 1 million square feet. So you're talking, it's probably bigger than the whole downtown area of Mount Sterling. And we do it there and it works out very well.
That's where you're put.
Fayetteville, Tennessee, Frito-Lay.
Other considerations for council, if we take this on, we're taking it on for the whole city. So if Kroger wants it, Big Lots wants it, anybody else wants it, we are accepting that we are going to, on those private properties also, abate.
We do work with Kroger, we do work with Big Lots, we do work with all these.
Those costs will now be something that the city is going to have to look at. So it's not as simple as, it's for a good discussion, and we appreciate you all bringing it forward. But it's not as simple as, let's just pay for this. We're paying for it for the whole city if we do that. Because once we pay for it for one private property owner, we have to pay for it for everyone.
If
Fair is fair.
there's an issue.
If
right?
there's an issue,
If there's
when
a new issue.
The minute we agree to put it in the budget that this is going to be something we're taking it on for the whole city. This now becomes, you can't say we're going to do it here and not do it at Kroger or Big Lots or any Kentucky Fried Chicken or whatever. We're going to have to abate their issues also.
But once you put down the feed and once you actually start drawing them in, we're going to pull those birds from those locations.
And respectfully, I am not asking that you fund an abatement program for me or my property or my family. I'm asking that the city fund an abatement program for the city.
Yeah.
Does that go beyond businesses? Like when you say, like what if, I know if Kroger's wants it, but what if there's personal, you said personal properties, I was just sitting there thinking, does that go into?
Well, just private
resident-
property, I should
private
say.
property, does that go into homeowners too, in the city, that if they had
Megan, how far will we go?
a pigeon problem?
Potentially,
Okay.
yeah, because you are, I don't know if this is even permissible. I would have to check in to the regulations with Kentucky League of Cities because we are talking about performing actions on private property, which is generally prohibited.
As far as
Using city funds to place tile pucks and
those are all
Flex
optional,
tracks.
those are all optional things that the business owners can actually take in their own options if they would like to go that direction.
Yes.
We're mainly just talking about the over control and stop the reproduction of the pigeons and to get them out of here before the diseases get more infested with the area. Like right now, you go to the hub, you can't even walk across there, you can't even go in there and get yourself a cup of coffee right now because the pigeon droppings are so spread out, so thick through that sidewalk.
I just saw it on your expected investment, and that would be something that's installed on a building,
Yes,
correct?
but that's the business owners, whoever owns the building, that's what something that they can optionally pay for.
Yeah, as a point of clarification, the last sheet, last column says that is a if needed, where needed. And yes, that should be a private building
Okay.
expense.
So where would you place this fee then, if we can't be on public property? On top of City Hall?
If City Hall lets me, if I got a business owner, somebody that's got roof access, that I can utilize their roof, I can put it on their roof, and I can, like I said, within 6 to 8 months, I can draw this down to 90% reduction.
Well, lots to think about.
Yes, ma'am.
Holidays coming up, and we could have this thing mostly late.
So right now, I was on a League of Cities call on Friday. There's not one city that's currently doing this across the state of Kentucky. So if we take this on, then we're the trailblazers and the pioneers for this project. Right now, we are paying an individual to clean sidewalks once a month. Nathan Boston and his team are down cleaning sidewalks once a month. I am down at a minimum 3 days a week, sweeping off the sidewalks in front of the businesses on South Maysville. I'm down once a week cleaning the sidewalks with water on South Maysville. So right now we are just cleaning what's there and doing the best job we can with it.
Which is taking a lot of your time, lots of time, right?
What's taken that and taxpayer resources to pay for, with what we pay Sterling Wash to do. We offer to businesses, if they will buy these spike strips, we'll put them up. So that seems like a shared responsibility that we can both, get on board with.
This is addressing the problem.
Spike strips, then you're gonna put sparrows, you're gonna get starlings nesting in them, and that's just gonna create a bigger problem with spike strips.
I see other cities doing it, so just put it out.
I know, I just-
Realize you're here tonight trying to sell a package, so.
I'm just
And I don't know,
Yeah.
honestly, that this is not something that if the city council decided to move forward with, that it's not the sort of expense that has to be put out for bid.
Right, yeah. But it's just,
The-
it's good that you have this
Yes,
information
it's-
and we can sort of see if
It's a
there's a way
starting
we
point
can.
for sure, just know that I would have to look at the figures and the longevity plan to see if it falls within something that would be required for advertisement.
Yeah, okay,
Good project,
good
good
thought.
information, thank you.
Something for you all to consider. If this
Check
is,
it. See where we go from there.
I will propose also that the cost can be split between fiscal years. So this is something that you could have 10,000 spent this fiscal year, 10,000 in the next, just spread it out.
it sounds like this is a fiscal year requirement going forward forever if we're gonna abate this nuisance. So you're all guaranteeing there'll never be another pigeon in the city as long as we come on board. That's what you're guaranteeing.
And keeping the OVA stuff,
I'm
that's what they're
guaranteeing
saying.
better health and better environment for not only for the city of Mount Sterling, but for the people that actually come here. And to give you a 90% reduction, I think.
You'll
that's
guarantee a 90%
Yes, I'll
reduction?
guarantee you a 90% reduction within 6 to 8 months.
Okay. All right.
Thanks.
Gives you all something to think about there.
Okay.
All right, thank you all very much. Next, department head and committee reports. We'll begin with Chief of Police, Terry Landrum.
Good afternoon.
And then
Rookie McDonald, he starts his third phase this weekend. He gets out of third phase, he'll have 2 weeks and then he'll leave his probation. We got some new language and the range y'all gave him out on the recruitment posters. But he had 10 responses in the first 2 days. We already have 2 that we're ready to interview. So hopefully we'll be able to replace Robbie, Micah, and a couple more we anticipate in the next week. We've got 2 Ford Explorers in the order, this year's cars. in the budget. past month, we handled 688 calls, we did 35 welfare checks, we did 229 traffic stops, 12 thefts, 20 suspicious calls, 5 stolen vehicles, 5 shoplifts. We had 22 reckless drivers. We went out 24 times just to answer questions. We had 5 parking violations and 42 accidents. 35 of them was non-injury, but still, that's a lot of accidents in this town. We had 6 intoxicated operators and 8 drunks, 10 loud music complaints. We assisted 11 motorists. Internet fraud rose to 7 instead of 1 or 2 last night. So it's a big deal. We escorted 7 funerals, we had 9 domestics, 15 disorderly conducts, we had 4 burglaries, well, 3 burglaries and 1 attempt. We had 14 calls on animals and 19 alarms. Questions? Yes, sir.
Why the Ford Explorer? I mean,
Well, Dodge.
I'm just curious.
Dodge said it'll be about 6 months before we can even get a order process. We have 2 Fords in stock, and we won't be able to get rid of that and wait till next year. That's why I'd prefer to have the Dodge Durangos. We'll have to wait for them to get it maybe a year. We ordered from Dodge dealership in Lexington 1 year, and we'll get them till next year. So, we got to buy them or we have access to them.
No pun intended, but it's the bird in the hand. We've
Well,
got 2 Fords that we can, touch right now.
I
So,
drove before I came up here, they were okay, they were a little tighter in the cabin, but there's much room. Good tall route.
okay.
Are these replacing patrol cars or is this,
Dodge does not make a 4-wheel drive or all-wheel drive
okay,
car.
so you're trying to go with Ford, right?
The ones that the few that they did make, they dropped the size of the engine. Dodge has not been real good about keeping up with times. Ford has tried to produce a car, I think it was a Taurus or something like that, but it wasn't well received. Chevrolet, we got the Tahoe. They're $10,000 higher, and they're big. It's easier than small cars to get through the streets.
I apologize if you spoke about this, but the drones, last night I looked out my back door, and there was a drone, and it was close, down low, and it's big too. Is that the city, or is residents permitted to use them?
You have to have a license, you have to be permitted to do that.
Could it have been you guys that I
Could
saw?
have been us, but I don't know if anything we had last time when we were using the drug.
That was probably about
Unless we were.
9:30 or something like that.
We might have went to the drug house or something. We were using the drugs. I'll have to check on that for you.
Okay.
Took it through marijuana plants.
Tell them what you guys catch me doing. I'm mad at you. Verify this right now.
I'll have a full video of that.
Thank you, Chief. I appreciate it.
We can't remember behind your back.
Thanks, Chief. Director of Public Works, Nathan Boston. Apologize for getting emotional also.
That's okay.
You just proved
Yes,
us you
that's
have a
normal.
heart.
Well, I know, and I don't like people to see that.
You're not supposed to do
I
that.
gotta take a week off now. So, we've replaced 4 of the 10 sidewalks on Hope. We still got 6 to go. I got 1 ready to pour, but this weather, we're waiting. Got 2 more dug out, but said we'll get them, it's just slow going. We've been spraying and weed eating the downtown area. We've been out trimming trees, trying to get some of them done before we go back to school. Got in the creek yesterday, got a limb out, a couple of fires. Get a couple more, we'll have some for our vehicles. So I had a young guy, Dakota, he'd been 3 days this week in training. He's working on getting his road scholar. I think he's got 3 more classes to go, and he'll have that done. Actually, we had 48
accidents because we had 4 signs run over. I guess that wasn't recorded. So instead of the 44, we've had 48. We had 1 stop sign and 3 parking signs destroyed. So Stephen has given us 33 yards. Out of those 33, we had to clean up or mow 11 of them. And as Mr. Goff is gone, Friday morning, we have plans to go down there and wash south Maysville to try to clean up weather permitting, so we're going to do that. But that's where we stand. Y'all have anything for me?
Okay, thanks, Steve. Code enforcement, Stephen Tuttle.
As Nathan said, we did send out 33 letters, both weed and some weed letters and some of the rubbish letters, but I do have we've got one on 9 Richmond that's going to apply for a general permit. So that's happening. I think they applied for one today. So we'll have that one down. Right now, the utilities and gas and things like that are going to be taken out. So be patient for that one, but I think in the next coming weeks, we'll have that one down. I think that's going to make 45, 46 maybe there. And let's see.